what happens when we are starting a new year or a new beginning or a new anything? You're coming up with this plan or with this fantasy or with this dream. You start fantasizing what is it that you want. And you're coming with those amazing plans and you feel good because your energy coming up, you are imagining yourself in a better place. You might be wanting to exercise more. You might want to have a better diet. You might want to this year start dating. You maybe want to finish toxic relationship. You maybe want to improve your health. You maybe want to change your job or be better at the job that you're doing, right? All of those plans that coming up for you. You might have a personal goal that you want to do more or say more, maybe meditate more, maybe wake up a few minutes earlier for yourself, right? So we start. I'm Renata. I specialize in conscious coaching that delivers rapid results. In 10 sessions, people transform their life inside out. And if you feel this is right for you, stay till the end because I have a surprise for you. Starting this, the newness, when the numbers change from 25 to 26 every year, we have this reflection. And if you remember last class, we talked about what did the year teach us, right? And from those lessons, we kind of gathering, what do I need now? And once you see this clear picture, okay, so now I need A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? Whatever, in health or finances, personal level, relationship, whatever's there, right? So you're setting those goals, it feels good, but the mind has another plan for you. You kind of thought about it and you said, yes, I'm definitely going to do that. And for some reason you did it maybe once, maybe you did it twice, maybe even told your family or friends that you're going to do it. You're really anticipating the doing it, but the doing is not being done. Or maybe you start doing it and then, oh, I just don't feel like doing it today. The temptation comes in and then you're not doing it today. And then you're not doing it tomorrow. And then day after tomorrow, then you forget that you even were supposed to be doing it. Right? So you can see how you have a plan, you have a vision, you have a mission, but not all of you is here. You know it will be better for you if you do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But somehow the mind has its own program. The mind just doesn't cooperate with your rules, right? So right now, when you're listening to that, a little bit after the new year, you can kind of reflect back and see what dreams, hopes, goals I set for myself and where are they now. In that setting of the mind, when we are setting our goals and our dreams and things are not happening, what actually happening for the mind? Why is the mind resisting, right? Or why are you resisting? First of all, it could be because the goal is too big. For instance, if you were waking up every day at 8 o'clock and now you want to get up at 6 o'clock or 4 o'clock, the gap is too big. It's a big jump. Or you said, I'm going to leave my relationship and you're so attached in it, and now it's basically living in your own another place, or the goal is too big, the jumps are too big. So when the step is too big to make, it's becoming too scary for the mind. And that's where the mind creates all kinds of sabotage tweaks to keep you in a safe, stagnant place. Safe, stagnant place, it's familiar. I'm always talking to you about it. The mind wants safe, familiar, but when it's safe, familiar, you are bored. Nothing happening. Everything is the same. And when you are bored, it's kind of, what is this it in life? Is it? There's also another kind of mind trick that sometimes you achieve all the goals, and I also came across it the past few months with several people, when everything been achieved, and then you come to this plateau and you say the same thing. oh, is this it to life? You already achieved it, right? And there become like almost a slow death, like there's nothing else is here. I already have what I wanted. So at some point you wanted something. It may be 5, 10 years ago, or even yesterday. You achieved it. You worked very hard. You thought, once I achieve it, I'll be happy. Once I achieve it, I'll be happy. And then you get there and you're thinking, it's the same me as was here 20 years ago. So the achieving becomes numb. It's like, why should I achieve again or rush myself into doing something if when I'll get there, I'll be the same person, just maybe 5, 10 years older. You see what I'm saying? So there are two scenarios here. One, when you want to achieve and doing nothing about it, you're in this numb. Or when you achieved already something and you become numb again. It's like, what is there anything else to life? What else is here? Right? So right now I'm talking about the way the mind is positioned, the way the mind is programmed, not only your specific mind, everybody's human mind is like that. Don't make yourself special or thinking, oh my God, what's happening to me? Because when I'm talking to you, other people listening to it and also can relate to that because it happened to them. It happened to me. It happened to many of my clients when they get into this mind state. And you probably all want to know what to do. How do I get from here? What's the trick? Right? Um, let me be honest with you, there's no trick. The trick is to notice. And once you're noticing when you are in the pattern, that's the biggest step already. I'm in a pattern. Once you're realizing that your mind jumped back into this hamster wheel, you notice I'm here again. That's already a big step because you don't want to be in hamster wheel. It doesn't feel good. Eventually, sooner or later, it will catch up with you. It's like doing the same thing, expecting different results will not do anything, right? But we've been doing it for many, many times, many, many generation years and time lives. So it's common. So when you're creating your goals or your destination, the worst things that you can do to yourself is start lecturing yourself or shaming yourself when you're not achieving it. The minute you start doing it, you are basically engaging with it, engaging with the negativity of it. The more you are negative about not doing it, the more you'll be doing it. It's almost like this child that waiting for the parents' negative attention. He will jump on the couch even if he knows he'll get spanking or getting punished. He's still going to be going there doing the same thing, knowing he'll be punished. So we have this program in us getting this negative attention. So sometimes we self-sabotage to give ourselves this negative attention because somewhere in our mind, it's also called love. It was our parents' attention. Bad boy, bad girl. Oh, now you're doing this again. Why did you do it? You shouldn't have done it. How come you did it? Look what's going to happen now. Blah, 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 blah. Before you know it, the whole body, the whole existence goes into stagnation. And you already created a huge story about what you should and what you shouldn't have been doing, right? So, and it's almost catching your own tail. You damn if you do and you damn if you don't. If you have plans, right? If you have plans or you have goals and you're having the mind already creating, it's working. How am I going to do it? When am I going to do it? You're planning, right? And the mind loves to plan. You like to plan because it's interesting. It's interesting to plan and see, oh, let's see what happens next, right? At the same time, if you plan and nothing happens, right, you get this disappointment moment of kind of spiraling back into bad mouthing yourself or fighting with yourself or kind of getting into this bad boy, bad girl mood. So when you it's important to notice where's the pause, where's the excuse. Notice I'm making an excuse, and it could be from either the plan is too big, maybe it's too far, maybe it seems impossible. If you have plans that you've been postponing for years and just thinking, oh, one day, it's just because the plan or the goal is way too big. It's huge. And it seems at this moment unachievable because you're saying to yourself, when I am ready, when I am ready. And then unfortunately, lots of people come to that place when they're never ready because they never took any steps. So you continue postponing this dream or this goal. When am I ready? And then in the end of the life, you're thinking, I was never ready. I will never be ready. And now life is over and I never did it because I was postponing it. When? When the kids grow up, when I feel better, when I have more money, when I retire, when I find a job, when I get married, when. Whenever you have the when, so pay attention here. If you have a big dream that's being postponed and you're living with the when, it's just a protective mechanism not to do anything. The mind just afraid the dream is too big, it's huge. Instead of when, start asking how and at least making small steps towards your goal. At least small steps. For instance, if you're single and you want to get married, at least be open to meet people. Not necessarily the happily ever after person, but at least start making some kind of connection. If you are in a very toxic relationship and right now you want that, when am I ready? I'm going to get out of this relationship, or when I find, can I have enough money to leave this relationship or something? At least start working on healthy boundaries. You see what I'm saying? At least start doing something. But the mind might be fantasizing, oh, one day I'll be free of this person, instead of saying, how can I keep myself safe now? And that's creating healthy boundaries, right? When I lose 50 pounds, right? That's huge. I cannot lose even a pound, and you want me to lose 50 pounds. And the mind goes into, no, that's impossible. Come on, it's unrealistic. Let's try with 100 gram, right? Let's try with something, small steps. So when you're breaking your big dream into smaller portions, it's easier for the mind to digest. Now, what's the other thing the mind does? I'm doing it. I'm doing it, right? And I find that very often happens with people. But boy, I'm not there. I'm not there. And then what you forget to do, instead of looking at a big result end point, I'm not there, you forget to look at the beginning point. But I'm also not there. I have moved already. I've already done that many steps, and I'm no longer in the beginning point. Yes, I'm not in my ending point, but I'm also not in my beginning point. You see what I'm saying? And the mind loves to do it. Everybody are, but not me. And you forget to understand that you are not everybody, first of all, because everybody maybe want to be you, right? So it depends what is it your dream, and where the mind catches itself in shaming you, blaming you, discouraging you. So any conversation that is shaming, blaming, discouraging, it's a conversation to set you back. It's a conversation it's a habit, set you back from your destination. The question also always should be how. And what can I do now? Right? So it's also another way of looking at it when I'm constantly reminding you the question, am I in the story or am I in the solution? Right? So setting up goals, or sometimes you're doing something, right? And that's you're doing something and then you say, oh, I can just take a break just today. And then you take another break tomorrow. And it could be exercise or walking or some kind of habit that you're trying to develop. And then before you know it, you stop doing it altogether, right? And that comes from non-negotiable agreements, right? When you make a decision to do something, for instance, and I'm not talking about huge decisions, because if the decision is huge, it's going to be overwhelming. Cutting it to smaller pieces and slowly adding it up. The same thing like working out. You can't lift right away 100 pounds. You can work your way out up to 100 pounds, starting from 5 and adding and adding and adding. One day, eventually, if you don't go too fast, you will reach that 100 pounds of lifting. Same thing happening here. When you have your huge goal, breaking it up into small steps, and eventually you will reach that moment. If you have been doing it and then you want to take your break from it, right? It could be that you've been overwhelming yourself. It could be that you just put too much on your plate. It could be that it might need to be a little bit modified, but stay with non-negotiable agreements. I decided that tomorrow I'm going to get up at 6 o'clock. But if I was getting up at 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock might be okay for a day or two, and then my body will catch up and say, no, I'm not doing it anymore. Forget it. I'm done. But if you do half an hour, 20 minutes earlier, and every week you increase by a little bit, you'll get to the 6 o'clock and it won't be so harsh on the mind and body to renegotiate and to manipulate you. You see what I'm saying? Any questions so far? Good. So noticing those traps, I'm telling you, because those are traps of the mind. The traps to set you back, the traps to spiral you backwards, the trap to keep you safe. The mind wants to be safe. That's it. It wants to know that I'm not going to strain myself too much, because something might happen, something might not happen. But if I'll stay the same, then I'll be okay. But it's also a death sentence. We're here to evolve and change. So when I'm staying the same, I'm not evolving, I'm not changing, I'm bored. I'm bored. And you can see some people are, I call them walking zombies, right? It's the same routine every day, and they're fine because they're in the safety zone. And saying, as long as everything stays the same, I'm fine. As long as it doesn't get worse, I'm fine. That's not an evolving mind. It's a surviving mind. As long as, right? There's no growth in there. There's no evolution. It's a slow death. That's where Alzheimer's come. That's where all kinds of things where you don't change your mind, when you don't nurture your mind, when you don't explore life, when you're in your regular plateau, it's getting pretty boring. As long as, right? So important to know when you're making your decisions or looking at your life and asking yourself, am I in my survival mind or am I in my evolving mind? If you wanted to be in your survival mind, if you meant to be in your survival mind, you would be walking on 4, covered in fur, and living on a tree or somewhere underneath the ground. You would be in an animal body. The human mind has its ability to create. If you look, we're the only species that create things here. We build things from earthy material. we build homes, we have cars, we up in the air, we we're in the sea, deep down in the sea. We create, we make, we evolve, we change. And right now the evolution also fast speed because it's internet and everything that all the technology that's here. It's fast speed, and it also it's extremely overwhelming for people who are more mature age, definitely for me, because it's just too fast, right? So setting goals or creating dreams and bringing them into real life, grounded life, bringing it into form, right? When it's in your head, it's in your head. It's a fantasy. How to take the fantasy and bring it into material life, how to make it a reality. And that's what I want you to be aware of, the fantasies. Is it a fantasy or is it a reality? Right? So how do you know, is it a fantasy or is it a reality? Is it something that I can materialize, or what steps do I need to take to materialize it? Otherwise, you're living in a fantasy world. It could be a dream, it could be a hope, a wish, or something that can materialize itself, but you're not giving it a chance because you don't know even from where to start. For years, I was dreaming about being a coach and helping people because I knew I had a gift, and I knew people will approach me everywhere on the street, family, blah, blah, blah. I enjoy just a few minutes. People will come later and say, oh, Renata, remember you said this and that. But I was paralyzed. I had no idea how to make it into reality. Yes, I know I can do it, but for many years, it was just living in my head, not in my reality. Some small steps had to be taken. I had to hire people to help me to make it happen, like getting my website, getting my social media, get involved with the technology, right? All of that before I started it. If you look at me like 20 or 25 years ago, I was paralyzed. I didn't know how to send even an email. It was too much, right? But steps needed to be taken for this to happen. It's also how badly you want this dream to be. If you're just fantasizing about it all the time, you're kind of feeding the mind, feeding the ego as if it's already done. I already been there in my fantasies. And you feel great, right? You feel good. Oh, I just fantasized, right? I just daydreamed or time dreamed. I just took myself to this amazing relationship that might happen to me or not, or this dream home that I would want to be, or this vacation. I just took it in my fantasies. So I'm asking you, please, when you're fantasizing, always ask yourself, how can I make it a reality? What steps I need to take? Because you have awesome dreams, awesome fantasies, awesome beliefs that deserve to be materialized. And wouldn't it be great to materialize it? To actually live it? Not only in your head, not only in your imagination, but in your everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I hear two things. I hear challenging and discipline, but I also read often. Um, I know people who have shared what their dream is, and they've shared it with many people, and it's never come to develop. So there was something I saw interesting the other day was about keeping it to yourself, keeping it private. How do you feel about that?
Interesting, because when I studied Steiner, that was one of the things that being touched on. When it's the dream is too young, like when we have this child, when they're newborn, and in my culture, we don't show it to anyone for 40 days, or don't tell anyone about the pregnancy. It's just too young. But at the same time, it's the same thing as I just told you. If you have a fantasy and you continue fantasizing about it and not thinking, how can I bring it to a reality, right? It's also taking it away. So when you're sharing it with someone, now you have cheerleader, yes, that's amazing. Oh yeah, I would have loved it. You just lived through your fantasy, but with another person also, you fed it even more. You fed the fantasy even more because now you fantasize it. You got the cheerleaders about your fantasy, right? But the actions were not taken. And there's a lot of people who are very good in their, well, you can say, I don't want to use this word, but I don't know how, another word, how that would describe it. Let's put it salesman, right? Because a salesman needs to have a really good fantasy. To sell you something, it needs to describe to you how good it is, how good it's going to be, right? And then the practical thing, do I need it or I don't need it? Do I want it or I don't want it, right? So your mind also is your salesman. It's selling you a dream. And sometimes you need to ask yourself, do I want it? Or do I just want to dream about it? Or is it just, or this is something that I need to live and experience, right? And you said something interesting about discipline. And yes, this discipline, that's most of the important thing to have your dream, your dream becoming reality. And discipline becomes with the discipline of the mind. And it's the monkey mind. First of all, to be aware of the monkey mind. That's why I'm always insisting on your morning's practices of at least 5 minutes of some kind of breathing meditation or something. Because in that morning, when the mind just wakes up and become alert, it takes in the world and then it starts its own predictions and its own stories and its own distraction and interruptions, right? But if you wake up in the morning with a bit of meditation, you kind of letting the mind know what's the pace and who's the boss and what they want to consume, the information that you want to consume, right? Of course, the word ADD is extremely popular right now, and I think every other person or every person been diagnosed now with ADD, which means the attention goes very fast and it moves from space to space. But it's also in a place where you grab information very fast, right? Staying focused. With all our gadget, we're swiping all the time, right? So information goes like that. New picture, new picture, new picture, new information. So a lot of it moving, but at the same time, when you remember what is really your vision, what is your purpose, what is it that you want to do, what are you here to achieve, staying on purpose, or even asking yourself throughout the day, have I done any of that? What is my bigger picture if it's losing weight and eating healthy, right? So you constantly on this eating healthy pattern because the social media or the swiping going to take your attention away. And before you know it, on autopilot, you're going to grab a cake and then thinking, what am I doing here? Right? So the distraction actually, in a way, it's forcing us now, absolutely forcing us to be present. Because otherwise you'll be lost in all of the sea of information. So when you are revisiting, and I hope you're revisiting right now your dreams and your goals that you set for yourself 25 days ago. What is it that you want to do this year? What do you want to achieve? Revisit it again. Check how can you help yourself to get there? Do I need to break it into smaller portions? What have I done in the past 25 days to make steps towards it? Is it still in my imagination? Or am I already creating something? If you have done some steps and just sitting with disappointment saying, oh, but I'm not there, go backwards and look, yeah, but I already started, I already made that many steps towards it. I'm not in the beginning. I already started. I'm already moving somewhere, right? So dreams and hopes and reality and check marks, what is possible, breaking things into digestible portions so the mind can digest, process, and move on, not overwhelming it. Because when you have big projects or everything dumped on you, and it doesn't matter at work or with family, maybe there's lots of family news coming at the same time and things are happening. It can be overwhelming. But if you break it up into small digestible portions, you can deal with it one by one, by one, by one. If you're noticing, I don't know if you watched any reality shows about people who are hoarding and they're just collecting stuff. And sometimes you can see like house full of stuff. And they're professional people who come and help them out. And you can see how, like, I would be overwhelmed even to open a door like that. But they're professional people who can really sort up the mess and how they're sitting there and they're putting things apart. What's for donation, what for resale, what's for garbage, what's to take away, right? And there are people who, and this is what you do in your mind. It's like your mind is hoarded with stuff. It's just with stuff of information. And it's now more than ever. More than ever. It just So in this hoarding mind, in this big mess, to try and stay focused on your dream and goal and make it a reality, it's hard, but it's not impossible.
Well, those professionals that come in, they're not attached.
Exactly,
Mhm.
exactly. And can you be not attached to the mess that's in your head and noticing that it's just a mess in my head?
Again, I think it's the witnessing part.
Exactly. Right. Right, Nancy. I can see that you're really listening. Yeah, because if you're not listening, if you're in a story, that's mean you are a participant. You cannot sort up the mess, right? And we had a class about it before. Um, if you are in the mess, you need to have your toolbox, how to relax your mind before you start organizing. First, relax, ground it, and then start working from it. And for everybody, it's different. For somebody going for a walk, for somebody watching something else, for somebody, I know somebody who was taking cold showers. For everybody, it's different. But you need to know yourself and you need to know your emergency process mechanism when the mind goes into overwhelm of thought and lost because it lost in its own thoughts, right? There's this witness that says you're lost in your thoughts, you're overwhelmed. It's not the time to plan something. It's not the time to overwhelm yourself more. It's the time to step back and collect yourself. And once you ground it and collect it, only then what is next, right? So if you have dreams and goals and you're doing and you took a step back, sometimes the step back was so long that you are sitting in this overwhelmed place and saying, oh, I tried, never going to happen to me. So and so tried and it worked, and so and so tried, it didn't work. And you're looking for kinds of evidence why it should or why it shouldn't be working based on other people's actions. Somebody did it, it worked for them. Somebody did it, it didn't work for them. And now you're comparing yourself to others, right? And that's another trap. This comparison to what worked for somebody and what did not work for somebody, it keeps you, it's taking away your power. Because at that moment, you're comparing yourself to somebody else's situation and you have nothing to do with someone else. Circumstances, outcomes, they have different circumstances than you are. So there's really no comparison. But again, we used to compare ourselves, especially as little children. I remember my mother, so and so was a really good girl. right? So you know this, so there's so and so who did it, or so and so who didn't do that. But it's really have nothing to do with you. Because by now you already know how individual and how unique each one of us. Okay. So revisiting again that mind that has excuses, that has fear, that has self-sabotage, that has stagnation, that has all of those characters just to keep you safe. And you need to remember somewhere in your mental capacity, am I safe or am I evolving and changing? Right? And just by that, just by this thinking, you already know if you are in a trap or not, in a trap of the mind of safety, or you are evolving and changing. Okay, everything here is moving. Your body is constantly moving, changing, evolving. All of the cells are moving, changing, evolving. Every living thing here is moving, changing. Everything. Nothing stays stagnant or the same. The minute it stays stagnant or the same, it's equivalent to death. There is boredom. And Nancy asking about saying about the generational footprint. Yeah, that's the ancestral safety that we have here, and all of our mothers and our fathers wants us to stay safe, and we want our children to stay safe, and we just want it that way. I have 88-year-old aunt who was completely paralyzed by her kids or grandchildren going anywhere or traveling anywhere. And I don't know how many years it took her, but now when she's in her 80s, and one of my kids is studying in Ireland, she goes, that's good. It's good to take them. They should be away from the home. They learn so much more there. But then, of course, that's after that bringing. She lived most of her life in a communist country, and the fear of moving, I mean, fear was installed. uh, People are controlled by fear or managed by fear, right? So you know, if I'll keep my family here close to me, they'll be safe. And then at some point, even my 88-year-old aunt came to this understanding that that's a trap. You need to be out there. You need to be evolving. You need to be changing. You need to be somewhere out there, right? Even your spiritual learning and evolution, what we're doing here, right? You came here because you didn't want to stay the same. You knew there's something here that needs to change, evolve. You want to, the mind wants to evolve and change. And what's stopping it very often, it's the fear of the safety. Okay. So I'm really happy that we're talking about it now in the beginning of the year. Because I want you to revisit those places of dreams and hopes and goals. I want you to look at them more of how to materialize it. What step I can take now to materialize it. What small step I can take now to materialize it. Even if something seems to you too far or too big or too impossible. Maybe something as I want to live in a castle. All right, but what can I do now about it? How realistic is it? And before you start saying to yourself, you had this in the cloud, that's impossible, try to think, and what if it's possible? What step would I take now towards that? Right? Uh, my biggest thing is when you are when you're being given some kind of a health sentence, right? And you believe that. And you believe that. And that's unfortunate because it's already proven so many times that when you have a different mindset, so much more possible for your body for recovering. But not many people are aware. If the doctor said so, that means it's written in stone. And if my lab work came up with those kinds of results, then there's proof. There's like proof. It's written in stone, right? Because it's already proof to that. But what if it's possible to change just by creating better habits, healthier habits, letting the body to relax, to evolve, to change, letting the body the opportunity to heal, even if everybody else saying it's impossible, right? And the body, it's interesting because the body, it's a direct reflection of your mind, just a direct reflection of your mind. Whatever whatever your mind gonna feed the body, that's how the body going to show itself, right? So you have enormous power over your physical body that you might not even aware how much healing potential there is in your physical body, right? So if you are on a recovery path and you believe everything you hear, then start believing everything you fantasize. Start seeing this amazing, gorgeous, healthy body and what steps you need to take to create that, right? So again, revisit your goals. See how you can break them into realistic steps. Start taking steps toward that and have little check-ins, maybe weekly, maybe monthly. Okay, so this month or this week I was here and now I'm here. So the mind needs to know that it's moving forward and it's safe to move forward. It is safe to move forward. You need to reprogram this ancestral imprint of fear equals safety. Because the mind is not used to that. It's a very new mechanism in our head of moving forward, evolving, changing. Most of it was safety. So we're still adjusting to this new way of being, right? So no excuses, no delays, just really revisiting and asking yourself, where was I then? Where am I now? What steps need to be taken and taking those steps. And revisiting every month or a week or saying, okay, where did I change? Where did I move forward from last week to this week or from last month to this month? And it's nice to sometimes just have this life vision of looking at yourself backwards and really see how much you already have changed, evolved, and transformed. Because if you're here and you're watching this, then most likely you are on your transformational path. You just forget to notice that you already changed and transformed a lot. Okay? Any questions? Good. We're going to go a bit deeper into our meditation and into our breath work. Anybody needs a washroom break? Okay, we're going to take a few minutes or so, or pausing and taking a small break. And in the meantime, I'm going to describe how are we doing the breath for those who are doing it for the first time or just revisiting that. So we're going to have two breaths, two meditations. One meditation going to be sitting up, and the other one going to be lying down. They're completely two different way of breathing. For the first one, we're going to have our fingertips touching together, turning fingertips upside down. So you have this kind of triangle with the opening on the top. And we're going to place it all the way down below you on your thighs, as if it was holding your lower belly. Imagining as if you were holding your lower belly. This upside down triangle is kind of helping you to ground. Your shoulders are relaxed and you're just breathing. Breathing with your eyes closed through your nose, as I'll be guiding you. Once we're going to be done this meditation for about 10 minutes or so, we're going to move into our next meditation, which is going to be horizontal, and you will need a place to lay down. And the best way to lay down is on the floor on your yoga mat. If you're uncomfortable in any way, you can use a couch, or you can also use some pillows to support yourself. I do advise to have a warm blanket because the temperature of your body is dropping. This meditation is a bit different because we'll be breathing through our mouth, and it calls holotropic breath. And you can Google it. You can also Google Stanislav Grof, the founder of holotropic breath. And the breath goes like that with your eyes closed as you be lying down with the mouth slightly open. You'll be breathing through your mouth into your heart, and it goes like that. All right, so the first breath is sitting up. Second breath is lying down. Both breaths, preferably with your eyes closed. Okay. So we're going to start with sitting up, making the triangle, turning it upside down, bringing it down into your thighs, relaxing your shoulder. Make sure your back is nicely supported. Feet are flat on the floor. And you just breathing through your nose, inhaling and exhaling, and feeling the surface that's supporting you, and relax even more. Inhaling and exhaling, being present to yourself, to your physical body, being aware everything around you, and your own presence in that space that you're sitting. Bring your attention to the top of your head. Relax the top of your head. Relax the back of your head. Relax the front. Relax your forehead, your eyes, your ears, your nose, and your mouth. Relax your neck and your throat, your shoulders, your chest, your belly. Relax your spine and your back. Relax your hips, your knees, your ankles, all the way down, down, down to your feet. And see if you can relax even more. Bring the attention from the top of your head to your feet. Now being aware of the spine, your tailbone, and the crown. Notice the rod of energy that runs between your tailbone and your crown. And give this rod of energy frequency, give it color, give it shape. On an exhale, imagine this rod of energy extending down, down, down into Mother Earth, the center of Mother Earth. And the next exhale, it's extending up, up, up into the universe, into Father Sky. Connect it all the way above and below. Inhaling and exhaling. Be aware of your physical body. Be aware of your emotions. Be aware of your thoughts. And be aware of your memory. Memory, everything you are from birth to now. Everything that you are from the conception to now. Everything that you are from conception to now and beyond now. Be aware of the life lived, living, and will be lived in this body on this earth in this time. This is your memory body that stores information of who you are, who you were, and who you're going to be. Just a record of information. Now be aware of the witness, the higher self, the one that witnessing your memories, witnessing your thoughts, witnessing your emotions, witnessing your physicality. This higher self, this witness, they're just witnessing you in all stages of life from conception to now. Witnessing how you felt about life from conception to now. Witnessing what you thought about life from conception to now. And witnessing how you felt in your body, in a physical body, once it started the conception, the cell division, till now. And beyond now. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Now witness this life that you lived on this earth, on this body. And look at the experiences that you had on this earth, in this body. Now look at your dreams and your hopes, your wishes, your desires. And now looking back at the life that already been lived. Life that you already experienced and lived through. And life that you're moving towards. The imagination, the desire, the feeling of wanting to. Now ask yourself, where those visions are coming from? Where those dreams, hopes, goals are coming from? How are they created? How did they come to be true? How did they come to be true in my mind? How did I pick up those dreams, those hopes, those goals? Now you can look back at life that already been lived. And you can see that because of those experiences that you already lived through, because of your life, because of the memory of the life, you are forming new life. You are forming new experiences. You are forming new hopes, new dreams. Maybe because of your job, there's an opportunity to a new job came up. Maybe because you've been in one relationship, there's desire for another relationship. Maybe there's one relationship that it's great and there's an opportunity to make it even better. Maybe there is a home that got to be too small and you want it bigger. Because of what you experienced, something new coming up. And just look at the life, how it's rolling itself from one to another. As you look all the way back from your conception to birth, to early childhood, to teens, to adults, to who you are right now, and take it further into the hopes and dreams and the vision that you have ahead of you, what was imagined, what's been fantasized, what's been created by your mind. And at this moment, be very honest with yourself and ask yourself what needs to be done to make it a reality. What step I can take right now to ground this dream into earthly experience. And then check in with your mind. Is the step too big, too small? Is it too much? Is it too little? What is realistic for me right now to take the step so my mind will cooperate with me? Not with fear, not with doubt, but cooperate with me, feeling inspired, feeling grounded, and taking one step at a time. Breathing in and breathing out. What is the step that I need to take? Realistic step. So I feel supported. So I can walk in a pace that is right for me. Not for my neighbors, not for my boss, not for my spouses, for me. What is the pace that is right for me? Deep inhale, deep exhale. And just notice how the mind now feels about your hope, about your dream, about your fantasy. Once it's knowing what are the action that needs to be taken in the right pace, in the right amount, in the right time. Feel how grounded it's getting to be, how trusting it's getting to be, without pushing it, without overwhelming it, without shaming it, but supporting it into a safe, comfortable pace. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. One more inhale, one more exhale. And imagine yourself walking in the pace that is right for you, at the right place, the right time that is right for you. Very slowly coming back into your own pace, into your own steps, into your own time. There, gently opening your eyes and transitioning yourself to horizontal. And when you're readjusting yourself in horizontal, make sure you're supported, whether you need pillows or blanket, whatever there is. Hands beside you, legs are straight. Please do not bend your knees unless you need a pillow underneath your knees. And gently opening your mouth. And please, through this breath, for the duration of this breath, remember keeping your mouth open and breathing into your heart, out of your mouth. Your mouth might get a bit dry in a few breaths, which is okay. It will pass that stage also. Just give yourself time. Keeping your mouth open into your heart, out of your mouth. into your heart, out of your mouth. And see if you can relax into this breath, being supported by the couch as you're breathing into your heart, out of your mouth. Into your heart, out of your mouth. Into your heart, out of your mouth. And relax even more. And go back to your hopes, your dreams, your wishes, and your own pace, moving towards them. Into your heart, out of your mouth. Into those first steps that you need to take towards that. Into your heart, out of your mouth. See what stories of the mind that's coming up along this journey as you're making your dreams a reality. And you can see all the traps of the mind. The mind might be cheering you up or maybe putting you down. It's just the stories of the mind. The mind might be discouraging you or encouraging you. It's just the stories of the mind. The mind might be very active or very silent. It's also just the stories of the mind. And pay attention to the noise that comes along as you're making one step at a time. The noise from the outside, the noise from the inside, your own voices, the voices of your friends or family as you're getting into this journey of materializing your dreams, your hopes, your fantasies, and still moving forward, no matter what, one step at a time. And every time you take a step, you're further away from the beginning of doing nothing. And really look at this beginning when nothing was done. And now you create that many steps of something being done. As you're getting closer and closer to your goals, nurturing your mind, not overwhelming it, not overloading it, but making a promise to yourself. I will always check in. I will always nurture. I will always walk in my own pace. I will always walk in my own truth. I will always continue evolving, changing, transforming in my own way. Just notice what's happening when you allow yourself to walk this path in your own way. As long as you're walking, as long as you're moving forward, you are evolving, you are changing, you are transforming. You're giving your mind the information, I am alive, I am here to live, I am here to evolve, I am here to change. And look how the mind starting to adapt this way of being. It's okay to move forward. It's okay to change. It's okay to evolve. And if you look at your life from your conception to now, you can see how always you were evolving, always you were changing, always you were transforming, but you were also always afraid, always cautious, always doubtful, always criticizing. And what I'm asking you now is to do it in your own pace, not overloading, not overwhelming, but breaking it into steps that are comfortable for you as long as you're moving forward. If you're not overwhelming and not overloading your mind, it will cooperate. It will move with you. Because the mind likes to be safe, but it also wants to evolve and transform. Deep inhale, deep exhale. One more inhale, one more exhale. And allow yourself to come back to today and now, to this life on this planet, in this body, to your own pace, to your own time, to your own evolution and transformation of this life that you're living right now. And remember the small steps that you can take right now. When your mind and your body feel comfortable. As long as you're taking a step, any step. You're giving your mind a signal, I'm alive, I am here, I'm a now. And slowly moving your fingers, your toes, possibly bringing your knees into your belly, moving them side to side. And move to your right or to your left. Maybe you have the desire to move into a child pose and just ground your forehead for a few breaths. Reconnecting with yourself. And very slowly and gently, in your own time, coming back up. Good. Welcome back. I highly invite you, if you don't have any paper or pen beside you, get some and write this experience down. Write what is the goal, the dream, and the steps that you're breaking it down, and what are the steps that you're taking right now towards that. And really ask yourself, what is the physical act that I can take towards that right now? What is actually that I can do right now to make it happen, right? So like Nancy mentioned, discipline, it's a big part, but it's easier to discipline when you're not overloaded. So always watch yourself. Is it too much? Is it too little? Maybe sometimes you need to put a little bit more to be more interested. Maybe sometimes it's too much and you need to do a little bit less because it's just overwhelming. So you're always watching too much, too little, but you're always moving forward. Always moving forward. If you're spiraling back, please listen to this video again because there's lots of clues why we're spiraling back, why we're not doing, why we're overwhelmed, why does it feel impossible. Remind yourself that you're back in the trap, how to get yourself back on that flow again into evolving, changing, transforming. Because through achieving our dreams, our goals, through making it a reality, we're evolving, changing, transforming. There's always the next level. Okay, like I mentioned, the mind loves to have familiar. That's why I'm asking you guys, please watch this class several times because the mind will go back into your old patterns, back into what's familiar. Before you know it, you forget that you even had that. But if you listen to it several times, it sinks in. I listened to those classes several times. The meditation, I invite you definitely to do more than once. All of the meditation, you can listen to the class a few times, but if you can listen to the meditation at least once a week, it's really imprinting it because we're working on your subconscious mind. It's beyond the logic. Okay? Don't take this year for granted. Don't take yourself for granted. You had a dream, you have a vision, you had the goal. Make it a reality, but something needs to be done. Otherwise, it's just a fantasy. It's out there. It's materializing. Bring it into material. We live in a material world. You have a body, it's material. Earth is material. Everything here is material. If you're not materializing, it's just empty space. Right? Just dreaming. Right? Being a dreamer is nice, but we're here in our material physical body. All right? Any questions?
It was fantastic.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you very much for everybody who were watching. Rewatch it again. Please give me your feedback on next meeting. I forgot to look, but it's the last Sunday of February. We'll meet again and I will post it. And if you're here and you're still listening and you enjoyed this class, I want to give you a very special offer. Please check the links. I am offering a free 30 minutes one-on-one with me to see if this work is for you. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time.